So let's go ahead and look. But before we look at the numbers, I'll just tell you, the best news, the good news, the great news is that our inventory has come up for yet another week again. So how's it going? I'm Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate, affiliated with the Keller Williams Market Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is the 25th of March, 2024. That means it's spring. That means that it can be sunny, it can be rainy, it can be snowy. We've had all three of those already today, and it's about noon. Yep, it's noon. This is the Numbers and the Nuance, where you come every week to know exactly what's happening in Utah's right now real estate market. And as always, we'll jump into the nuance, my interpretation of the numbers that I pull right off the MLS. I'll give you the nuance, my understanding of what's going on first, then we'll dive into exactly what the numbers and the trends show, showing you the graphs so you know exactly what's happening. So what's happening is it's definitely spring. Our days on market time is starting to trend down for sure. We've seen it at its peak of 66 days on the market before a home gets an offer and goes under contract on it. And right now we're sitting at 56. So days on market is trending down. Our average list price versus our average sold price, that gap between the two is continuing to creep narrower and narrower. Demand is definitely on its way up, as evidenced by the number of homes shown per week. Sellers may have jumped a little too soon, too eager onto the idea that with spring will come more demand and therefore they could ask for higher prices, because the number of price reductions that's happening every week has been coming up a bit. But that doesn't tell us that the seller's confidence in the market is trending down at all. In fact, that's the opposite. Seller's confidence in the market is definitely trending up, as evidenced by the number of listing contracts that are either canceled, expired, or withdrawn from the MLS from week to week. You'll see that. So let's go ahead and look. But before we look at the numbers, I'll just tell you, the best news, the good news, the great news is that our inventory has come up for yet another week again. So our inventory is definitely starting to trend up. It's like several weeks of data points worth over the trend line of it trending down, as it has since last Halloween. All right, now, if you want to know exactly what the numbers tell us, what the trends look like, what the graphs show, let's check it out. As always, first our inventory. It now sits at 7,299, up a little bit again. And that's 4 weeks in a row above the trend line, so this is now definitely trending up. Our supply of available homes has been coming down since about Halloween of last year, so we're happy to see it trend in the tiniest bit up for the last month. Our average days on market, like I said, now sits at 56. That's exactly the same as it was the previous week. Trending up across this graph that looks from the beginning of last year's Q4, but as with the inventory, the last 4 data points here show a change in the other direction. And in this case, it's below the trend line. And we do anticipate this to start trending down through the spring. So I think we've seen the peak of its last wave up at 66 days on market, and it's gonna trend down from here. Average list price prior week came to $683,408. That's up from the previous week. This looks to have trended very moderately down across the last 2 quarters. And if our inventory can keep traveling up, we may keep an average list price from trending too high with increased demand that comes with the spring and the summer. Now, our average sold price last week was $675,455, which means the difference last week between average list price and average sold price came to $7,953, down from last week, a little further away from there being no difference between those two data sets. Again, trend line looking pretty level, but 7 of the last 8 data points are above that trend line, telling us this is creeping closer to no difference between those two data sets of price. Number of homes sold last week came to 546. That's up from the previous week. This is definitely showing our spring demand coming up. Number of homes currently under contract comes to 5,193, up from the previous week, clearly trending up. Price reductions last week came to 618. That's up from the prior week. And this has been trending clearly down. Again, with the last 4 data points above the trend line, this looks most recently to be trending up. And like I said, maybe sellers were overestimating how soon and how dramatically demand was kicking in this spring. Number of listing contracts canceled, expired, or withdrawn just at 233, down from last week. And we're trending moderately down here still. And here still, we're showing seller confidence difference in the market, and that certainly seems appropriate. That's it for this week, guys. If you have any questions about my nuanced opinion or about any of the numbers shown in this video, feel free, as always, to hit me in the comments, hit me with questions. I'll be happy to respond. And as always, if you or anybody you know is thinking to move here in Utah in the coming months, I hope you're comfortable reaching out to me. I'll certainly be happy and comfortable working with you and represent you with honesty and transparency and help relieve as much of the stress and anxiety of moving as possible from off your shoulders. That's my job. And of course, as always, if you want to stay educated on Utah's right now real estate market, there's not going to be a better way than to hit that subscribe and follow the numbers with me from Monday to Monday every week. Thanks for watching this week, guys. We'll see you soon.